I'm
Goodbye.
Aura. I'm the host of Collective Mind, and that's Onyx, my fiance, host of Primal Pack.
Whoa, you can't just out me like that.
Oh my gosh. And I think this is the latest we have ever started a live stream. Um, but our sleep schedule is not the same as it was last time we streamed. So I'm pretty thoroughly awake. I'm also like on kind of like an emotional high because I finished a project that probably finishes a class that I've been trying to finish since last semester. So I'm really, really excited about that. Hi, Ellie. Oh, you had just laid in bed? I'm sorry.
Well, welcome to the late night stream.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get to be part of the in crowd if you have insomnia.
Yeah, exactly. I can't work on the rainbow blanket because I ran out of one of the colors of yarn much faster than I expected. And then had a problem with one of the ones that was going to be next, too, so I had to make an emergency yarn order. Thankfully, a small one.
That sounds like such an old white person thing to say.
Hey!
I had to make an emergency yarn order? Come on. It,
Fine.
it does sound like that.
I'm not that old, but I'm white enough to make up for it, I guess.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's very possible that it's just you, Ellie. I don't know that anybody else will join. I'm thinking if there's anywhere else that I want to, like, share it to see if anybody else will join, but I don't know.
Oh.
Like, I could tweet it, but not very many people follow me on Twitter because I don't do anything on Twitter. I could see if there are any other servers I'm on that have, like, self-promo places where I could put it.
I mean, either way, even if nobody comes, it's still just a chill hangout stream time.
Yeah, and people can still watch it later.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I do have that. Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, the diagnosis does not, like, end the possibility of denial spirals. I discovered the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was validating, but it didn't stop me from thinking I was making all of it up.
It increased it on some degree because you just assumed that you had tricked the doctor somehow with a test
Yeah,
that you couldn't fake.
I thought I was tricking him or that he was just wrong or whatever.
Just saying what you want.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, how is the sound? Because I moved my mic so that it would hopefully sound better. But if it sounds worse, feel free to let me know. Or if I'm too loud or too quiet or anything.
I mean, on Discord it sounds fine.
Cool.
You sound clear. I don't really know what to look for in mic quality, but it doesn't sound like you're far away, and it doesn't sound like you have the mic in your throat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it is very true that in some ways, like having the diagnosis can feel like it's making you face the reality instead of just playing around with the idea of something potentially being real. Yeah, it definitely sucks when symptoms get worse like that too. Um, but that is common with starting therapy for trauma related things, and I think lots of other things. Um, because it's essentially like actively trying to stop dissociating away from some of that information and emotions and stuff, and it makes it harder to function. You know? Cool. I'm glad it sounds okay. I'll try to remember to mute when I like clear my throat and stuff in case it's super duper loud now. But we'll see if I can actually remember that. Oh, also AC is fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Cue fireworks and applause and choir singing and all that. Finally fixed. And we're almost done with school for this semester. We're so close. It's literally like a week and a half. It's just all of the biggest projects, and then it's done. You don't necessarily need to be doing active trauma processing to still feel an increase in symptoms because of therapy. Because just like regularly acknowledging system related stuff and more easily noticing those symptoms and all of that is a way of like actively fighting dissociation. Actively trauma processing is probably like the extreme end of that spectrum, but it's not the only thing on the spectrum, if that makes sense. Yeah, I want the break from school so bad, and I'm so close if I just can get all of it done. Yeah, EMDR is one of the ways to do trauma processing in therapy. I think it's less common to do EMDR with complex trauma. I know that I've seen a lot of people say in studies and stuff that say that it complicates EMDR to do it with complex trauma. Like, at minimum, you have to treat it differently, but possibly that EMDR isn't even a very good fit for complex trauma, because once you're dealing with long-term complex trauma like that, EMDR kind of focuses on going through in a ton of like vivid detail each moment of the event, and if it's a long list of events over time, it's a lot harder to do that, and it can not go well if it's not like restructured to work better with complex trauma, if that makes sense. Because EMDR is very specifically supposed to go through the traumatic event and kind of almost like desensitize you to it by processing the event as a memory and not having it stuck in that not quite memory phase where you like relive it in flashbacks as though it's happening right now. But it's just not like feasible to go through years of trauma in that kind of detail and do that. And because of the way complex trauma like functions differently, it can be a different level of like stressful and disruptive to your life and ability to function to attempt EMDR in that way with complex trauma, especially with a system, because one alter like doing EMDR for one of their trauma memories can end up triggering a bunch of other people in the system. So I've heard a lot of people say that it's at best very complicated and needs to be thought of differently to do EMDR with complex trauma, and that you should like make sure to do it with someone who has experience using EMDR for complex trauma specifically. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute.
Wow, I can't believe this.
I'm not sure what that last message means, Ellie. They're supposed to have their own family semester in their own part of the mind? Oh. Yeah, it seems really complicated to me to try to do internal family systems work with a system because of that, because you would have to go through like the internal family system for each altar. That seems really complicated. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was autocorrect or if I was dissociating and it just wasn't making sense, or if it was just like a term I didn't know or what. But that makes sense. Onyx, are you still doing Minecraft?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Anything fun happening?
I'm currently farming for combat XP,
Hmm.
so I can level up my combat, because I have to be combat 18 to use the aspect of the dragon sword.
Nice.
Yeah. But I'm not there yet, so instead I have to just use an aspect of the end, which is a rare sword, and the aspect of the dragon thing is like a legendary one.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm just running around killing mobs in the end. Everything is very, very fast paced.
Wow.
Is your Discord stream to the or link to the? Can the stream see your Discord?
No.
Okay.
But I could make them see it if I wanted to.
No, I want to show you first to
Okay.
give you an idea. One sec. Stream. So, can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. Do that. So, normally, you walk around Minecraft kind of slow.
Mm-hmm. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Have
don't
fun.
actually know if I can keep watching that. It's gonna make me motion sick.
Uh-huh. That's why I didn't want to like do it to the actual stream,
Yeah.
because short 1 second bursts or whatever, I figured you'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what I'm currently doing is not viewer friendly
Yeah.
for you.
Makes sense. Oops.
I'd be curious to try and stream it actually, just to see if anybody would watch or like complain about it.
Yeah,
Because I'm
I've
actually not that fast. I'm specifically not wearing a ton of gear that makes me faster.
mm-hmm.
I'm just leaving my speed alone at this point. There's people who move like 3 times faster than I can.
We we don't have to talk about this on stream if you don't want to, obviously, but I have been wondering if you are gonna start streaming.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll do it on Twitch still?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why not. I mean, it's where it's set up.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. Oh, I missed some messages. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not super familiar with how internal family system stuff works. Like normally with a singlet, never mind how it would work. Like applying that therapy method to a system. So I don't think we've ever had a therapist try to use that with us. Not that I remember anyway. But I don't, like, from the little bit that I know about it, I don't think it would be a good fit for us.
EMDR?
Internal family systems.
I don't know what those are.
I have a much stronger stance on EMDR. In our case, I am not willing to do EMDR.
That's fine.
I think our therapist has even said that he would not recommend that for us, and he would not come even close to like trying to convince us that it was a good idea.
You don't do good with like sensory type stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yours didn't bring it up either? I guess I was confused. Or maybe I'm confused now. Your therapist isn't talking to you about internal family systems work? Did I just assume that somewhere? My yarn's all tangled.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, I like detangling it. Oh, okay. My bad. I guess I just assumed that somewhere. Or misunderstood.
4 more combat levels to go, and that's a long way.
Sorry.
It's not your fault.
Oh, you were looking into it yourself. Okay, that makes sense. Hi, Kai.
Hey, Kai.
How are you? I'm glad there's another person here.
How come?
'Cause I like people attending the live streams.
Ow. I should stop sitting with my leg crossed like that. Specifically that leg. It's a habit to do my left leg up.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that for too long in a row, your leg starts hurting.
Yeah. I am really good right now because I finished a project for a class from last semester, and that almost definitely means I'm done with that class from last semester. And so the end is in sight for this semester. And I have like a week and a half left, and I'm almost there. And if I can just finish out this last week and a half and stay on top of it, I get a really long break before the last semester, which is really exciting and a huge relief. What is this stuck on? Okay. Okay, now I can hopefully actually detangle this. I wonder how much knitting time I spent just detangling yarn. That's all a loop. Okay, so I can kind of set that aside. Okay, that's where this whole thing is, right? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I get that feeling of like having like a doubt spiral kind of, but more so that you're just trying to get the feelings out. Oh, I don't mind at all if you share good news. By full switches, Ellie, do you mean like where you're not co-conscious anymore? Or do you feel like you're not usually switching and you're just getting like passive influence from other altars being close? Is it possible that even when you're still feeling that doubt, you're still fully switching and just experiencing that doubt from Kokon? Because I am also always at least Kokon, and I will sometimes not even realize that we switched, and then find out partway into a conversation that I was like watching from Kokon and just assumed that it was still me, basically. That's really, really awesome, Kai. I'm so excited for you. go clothes shopping.
Same.
Someday we'll have money.
Mm-hmm. Someday we'll be rich enough to shop for as many clothes as we want.
Basically.
Don't worry, I won't tell you you're not sleeping.
If it helps Ellie, I also don't remember what I said. So.
About what?
Mm.
Do you remember anything about what was going on? My passive chat filter was going.
We were talking about Ellie feeling like she doesn't totally switch out a lot of the time.
You were talking about how you're always co.
Yeah, something about that.
Potentially passive influence.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
I don't really think of it as much like I'm becoming the other alters when they switch. More so that, like, I'm watching, but because I'm watching from the same eyes, like, it doesn't feel like I'm further away. Like, it doesn't feel at all like I'm watching on a screen or anything like that. But, and like it physically feels like I'm still doing things. Like if I were Kokon and someone else were knitting, it would physically feel the same to me as if I'm fronting and knitting. But like, I will react differently to things than like the alter fronting. Not always, sometimes we'll have the same reaction to the same thing, but a lot of times, and that's where it's easiest for me to like see where the line is between us, kind of, if that makes sense, is when we react differently to the same thing. Like, if they thought something was funny and I thought it was gross or mean or didn't understand the joke, or if someone is fronting and hanging out with Onyx and they're less comfortable with her than I am, or that kind of thing. Like, I still have my thoughts and feelings and stuff like that, the same as I would when I'm fronting. Just, I do usually feel a lot of emotional bleed from whoever is fronting. Not always, but usually. But, like, I'm still feeling my stuff, too. Does that make sense? Yeah, with co-consciousness especially, like, even without getting into being fully blurry or anything like that, with co-consciousness, it makes it a lot less, like, easy to distinguish exactly where the line is between two alters when one is fronting and the other is co-con with them, than if you had more amnesia in that moment. Like, if I went from total blackout or totally inside with no awareness of the front either way, to suddenly being in the front and knowing what was going on, that would be way more obvious to me than if I go from watching TV to watching someone else watch TV, you know? That's way less obvious to see where that line is. That was the other thing that I ended up realizing with time, is that other alters could often tell more easily than I could, like, whether a switch had happened or when the switch had happened, because they had more experience knowing that that was happening than I did, you know? And it was often more obvious to them, like, if it was a sudden switch for them and they hadn't already been close, it would be way more obvious to them to go from doing something inside to suddenly in the front. Hmm?
It's taken a long time.
Hmm. Someone's close and watching me, and I'm wondering if they want to switch. Yeah, I very, very often know that I'm not the one fronting, but don't know the name of the person fronting. Either because it's someone whose name I don't know, or because, like, I can't tell who it is, you know? Hey, Uni. I cannot see you. This is just one way.
Hi, Uni.
Maybe when you're doing it that way, you're just putting less pressure on yourself to, like, know exactly what's going on, you know? Oh, yeah? What are the similarities? Kai said that we explain switching with DID similarly to how they explain being gender fluid.
Bless you.
Cool, I muted in time.
I ruined it by saying bless you.
No, it's fine. I wasn't trying to hide that I sneezed because it would have been really obvious just from looking at it, but it might have been very, 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 very loud if I hadn't muted, so I muted. That hurt my throat. Oh, what am I doing? I am knitting a blanket currently. And live streaming. Yeah. I've been trying to put less pressure on myself lately to know exactly what's going on with system stuff all the time. Because I think it was sometimes, like, it was stressing me out for sure, but I think it was also sometimes effectively putting pressure on other alters to, like, make them feel like they had to tell me stuff about themselves when they didn't necessarily want to. Go on. Pick where you're going. There. There. Okay. Thanks, Uni. That's really interesting, Kai. I'm not sure I had ever heard someone talk about memory stuff related to being gender fluid. Is it like distracting? Like, does it distract you from whatever you are doing or thinking about when you notice that like your gender just changed? Charlie, that's not gonna work. You're on a leash. Please don't try to jump off. That was definitely wrong. What did I do? No. What the heck? Like that. Like that. Like that. Okay, that's what was confusing me. I was partway through a stitch and I was looking at it and it didn't make any sense to my brain and I couldn't figure out which steps I had done and which ones I hadn't. So I undid the stitch and started over. Charlie, no. I might have to pause for a second and see what Charlie needs. And I need to go to the bathroom anyway, so. I think I'm about done with this row on the blanket, so I think I'll pause the stream then. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I think she should be good now. Bye, Kai. Thanks for
See you,
hanging
Kai.
out. Yeah, it's past midnight here, but that's not quite as late as 2 a.m. But my sleep schedule's all messed up, so it does not feel late to me yet. Yeah, I'm okay. I just had to pause the stream, go to the bathroom and stuff. Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Like, that sounded like dissociation to me, but I didn't wanna like, I didn't want to claim anything without, like, evidence, I guess? I don't know. But that definitely sounded dissociative to me. Like, spacing out and then being disoriented and having trouble remembering what you were doing a minute ago. It could also just be, like, a focus-related thing. Like, with ADHD and stuff. I don't think I had ever really thought about, with being gender fluid specifically, that might, like, suddenly change in a way that would be, like, noticeable as it was changing, you know? I think on some level I must have assumed that it would have been, like, a semi-gradual thing, or, like, waking up and you know what your gender is that day or whatever. But it makes sense that it could be more sudden than that. Doggy's name is Charlie. She's my service dog. You want to come back over here? Okay. Hold on just a second.
Never. You
Let me
can't
move this
make
out of the way. And then you can come back. Hey, you can come now. No? You only wanted to while it was inconvenient. Now that I'm okay with it, you don't want to anymore? Okay. I'll type it in chat for you. What did you read, Ellie? Oh, you were trying to send it, I see. Someone's really close, and I don't know if they're like trying not to switch because they don't want to be on the live stream or what's going on. Charlie's actually a girl, not a boy. I might look at that later, Ellie. Thanks for sending the link. Okay, come on. Come on. Oh my god, Charlie, come here. Pick a spot and stay there. It's fine. What? You're on my knitting. It's okay, Uni. I was just telling you that she's a girl so you know for next time. You're sitting really weird and I'm trying to figure out if you're trying to task. There. Now she laid down. Charlie does tasks. Because she's my service dog, so she does things to help me feel better when I'm having problems with one or more of my disabilities. We haven't really taught her to do any tricks, because all of the training time we wanted to focus on teaching her to task. Yeah, she has a job to help. That sucks, Ellie. I'm sorry. I guess I should set up a picture and stuff. In the meantime, I'll do that. think my picture is on here. Yeah. About there, I think. There. Perfect timing, Ellie. I just finished. What do you mean, build it? Thank you. I like the picture too. It's pretty close to what I look like. I've never done a live stream before. Yeah, I'm glad that we can do the pictures and things while we're live and that we don't have to set that up ahead of time. Yeah, I was close and starting to blur with her for a little bit. We can't always tell when someone is close. It depends mostly on how good of the communication is between those altars. Yeah, I like that part too. It's like a circlet, kind of. Oh, that's Charlie. I couldn't tell what that sound was. Yeah, she's snoring a little bit. Am I supposed to be talking about anything in particular?
Only anything you wanna.
Oh, that's true. I should change the title. tried to watch for a while first so I would know what I'm doing, but I don't really feel like I know what I'm doing.
Does anybody really ever know what they're doing?
I do sometimes feel like I know what I'm doing. We made some random, like, vloggy type videos when we were first in college. And I liked doing those.
You guys have done a couple vlog videos.
And I just recently woke up from being dormant, and we had been making those videos up until right before I went dormant, so like for me it feels like we were just doing that. Yeah, you can hear Onyx too, but she's not on camera. She's just on a call with us and you can hear her on the stream. It is still Onyx, right?
Kind of.
Okay. I got to wake up from dormancy right at the most stressful part of the semester. Lucky me.
You guys are getting through it though.
Yeah. We don't always know. We don't always know who is fronting. Aura often doesn't know. Even if the person fronting knows that they're fronting, that doesn't always mean Aura knows who it is. I didn't even see someone else had joined the chat. I'm sorry. Hi, Omega Ghost. By dormant, I mean, like, sleeping for a long time, I guess. I wasn't active in the system for, like, 5 years. I wasn't actively doing anything in the inner world, and I didn't front at all. And I don't remember being dormant. So for me, it was like waking up and 5 years had passed. It was like being really stressed out from school, taking a nap, waking up 5 years later, and getting to be really stressed out by school. Yeah, I guess it was interesting. A lot changed in those 5 years. A lot of system stuff changed. And we weren't physically disabled when I went dormant, so I'm adjusting to that still. Apparently I pushed us too hard yesterday. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit like hibernating. Except I didn't do it on purpose. Yeah, fairly recently, although, we notice signs of it going back. Like consistent signs of it starting like early 2020 at the latest. And some sporadic signs that we might be prone to something like that a while back. Not sure if it was related at all, but like we had regular dizzy spells and stuff like that for a very long time before it got to this level. we always thought it was just related to other things. And it might have been. It might not have been like early signs of POTS. But before the pandemic interrupted our job, we were apparently having like very, very regular and bad dizzy spells, especially when getting up quickly or like pushing too hard physically. But we weren't fully fainting yet until later that year, like fall of 2020, I think. And then it took a while to get tested and diagnosed and stuff. What types of differences? Like the switches themselves being different, or the altars being different? Yeah, Kai was here earlier, but they had to leave. You're leaving to watch a movie? Or you're just watching it now? I don't know if I should say goodbye or not. I've been watching some of our YouTube videos and stuff to like try to catch up on some of the stuff that I missed. And learn the way that like people who I knew then are different now and stuff like that. It's a lot to take in. Yeah, some of us are definitely pretty different from each other. We also do definitely have different types of switches. Like, we have some that are a lot faster or slower. Some that are more dissociated, and like an easier switch versus a harder switch, which usually involves how much it physically hurts. Stuff like that. We also didn't have a dog when I went dormant, so I'm getting used to that. Like, we had family dogs growing up, but we didn't have a dog that was like our responsibility like that. Especially not one like specifically trained to get in our space all the time. I think I'm actually gonna wrap up the stream here. The dog's name is Charlie. She's our service dog. Sorry, I know you kind of just got here, Omega Ghost, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up. We're almost done with school for the semester, and then we should do more videos as well as live streams and stuff. I know we're behind on videos. We have a lot of them planned. We just need to have like the time and energy and stuff to film them. And now that the AC is fixed, it should be like, that's one of the things that was getting in the way. So once school is also done, we should be able to do a lot more of that. Yeah, but thank you for hanging out. Like and subscribe and all of those things, and we will do more streams and videos and stuff soon. So, thank you for watching.